Have you ever wanted to play a game filled with murder, slavery and forced amputation? Then Kenshi is the game for you. And in today's episode, we're going to use Kenshi and the environment that it's created to build an army filled with martial artists that use exclusively their fists and feet to do their murdering. In the previous episode we started with 5, we lost 1 and now we're on 4. One of them lost an arm, so I guess we're on 3 3/4. The main goal for today's episode is to grow our army by recruiting prisoners and then to set up some sort of base so that we can train those new recruits. There's going to be murder, thievery, full speed sprints across the map. But the first thing we need to get done is we need to head to Bast, because there's prisoner cages in Bast, and with the prisoner recruitment mod we can recruit some prisoners. Unfortunately we did run into some absolute long ass giraffe things and then they almost killed us. We managed to try and hide in a hive, but they did manage to infiltrate. Luckily, we did in fact survive. After that, I thought it'd be a good idea to get out of the beak thing territory, because we don't like them, they're mean. We arrived at next to the hub, the bar next to the hub that is controlled by Holy Nation outlaws. We got some much needed rest and then headed in the morning to the town of Stack. First stupid mistake that I made was running directly into the village, forgetting that I just bought Jim a new robotic arm. Not even a good one as well, so it's really not even worth the chase. I should really have took it off. It was a mistake, but we didn't die, so it's okay. We actually managed to run away, therefore everything is okay. We made it all the way to the Forker Islands. One man still chasing us, so we jumped him, beat him down, kicked him several times from multiple directions, and then a bone dog turned up and said, "Take off flying." We then made our way to Mongrel, which is the capital city of this shinobi. Once we arrived, we found a recruit called the Crumble John, and then we nabbed another one called Infinite Wing Wang. Didn't change his name because why would I? Sick name. And we also picked up Beep. Beep's quite a popular character within the universe of Kenshi. We continued on our way to Bast. Now, using the prisoner recruitment mod, the plan was to actually kidnap a lot of sand ninjas on the way to Bast. That way we could get there and get some recruits straight away so we can start growing. But unfortunately, I had a little peep in with pins and it was full of sand ninjas straight there. I'm guessing he literally just spawned in or whatever. Unfortunately they saw me and started chasing after me. I closed the door so they couldn't follow, but they still did. Turns out they know how to open doors. They chased me around the corner and I thought, okay, well if we can get enough of them secluded in one area, we could definitely outnumber them and gang up on them. But sometimes you've got to play your cards the way they fall. We got imprisoned, but we did manage to pick everyone out. It took us absolutely ages, not really, but fast forward and that. There is a fast forward button, so not that bad. And then we started to make our way out, real stealthily, unseen. We got triple did by 3 groups. There was the Sand Ninjas, the Dust Raiders, and the Skimmers. They touched me here, here, and here. Made it out. We didn't die, which is a positive, while limping and feeling the shame of defeat. We made our way to Bast, which is where we would start to grow our martial artist army. Once we arrived at Bast, we headed straight to the house, which has 2 sleeping bags. Free! For free!
It's free real estate.
Free real estate, my friends. All of our kung fu boys had a little nap, a little rest. They would all tuck it out from that beating, that triple that happened earlier. And let me tell you, Pins was cooking up a storm. It was skinning me, so I'm not sure how nutritiously valuable it is, but it was tasty. At the same time, we had the new recruits getting a little bit of strength, doing some mining. And with the mining, the strength is for mining mod that I have. The mod list is down below, by the way, if I hadn't already said it. Go look at that. It's a good mod. I then realised we were running out of money. And obviously we need money, so we loaded up Inu and sent him on his way. En route, Inu was accosted by some local starving vagrants. Luckily, because Inu was on the way to buy food, they didn't actually care that much about looting him, because he didn't have any food, because we're also starving, slowly. Inu then quickly recovered and then made his way to the town. Once in the town, I decided to sell my wares to the local weaponsmith. He was much obliged to buy my claws and weapons and stuff, so I sold out. I then made my way to the local public drinking house. I then bought a backpack full of meat and started my journey back to Bast. Once Inu had returned, we got him some much needed rest, and then we needed to make our move. Recruits was still the aim of today's video, so we made our way back to the Flotsam Ninja Tower in the Spine Canyon. We only brought 4. The reason for this is because they are high-class martial artist warriors, as opposed to the new guys who kind of all suck. Once again, we found ourselves accosted in the desert. It's an unfortunate mishap that keeps on happening. This time, the Holy Nation were on us. There was an army, and they were getting us because of Jim's robot armor again. I decided to use them to our advantage, and I led them back to the Flotsam Ninja Tower. And then we led them inside, and they did our work for us. Brilliant. Although we ran away, we snuck back to the Flotsam Ninja Tower, and there was way too many of them still there, so we had to run away. And while this was going on, the boys back at home were getting a little bit of a beep down. Beep has actually lost 2 of his legs. Not entirely sure when that happened. We eventually found ourselves with few enough pursuers that we could actually beat them down, and we did very viciously with our fists, because these guys are actually getting pretty good. Look at these stats. That's pretty good. We're 32 days in. I mean, come on, pretty good stats. Not gonna lie, not trying to brag. After that fight was over, we headed back to the Flotsam Ninja Tower with the aim of kidnapping the remaining Sand Ninjas. There was some that were still alive, so we beat them down and then we kidnapped them. I'll be honest, we kidnapped them. We did. We stole them from the place where they were, and we took them. It's fine. You know, it's Kenshi, so it's fine. Yep. Unfortunately, while we were concentrating on getting new recruits, some of our old recruits had actually been attacked and were slowly perishing. Unfortunately, it's one of my favourite characters in this game, Beep. Jokes, he's actually a little weasel, and I'm glad he's dead. Double jokes, that was also a joke. Anyways, we then put the boys in cages. We put the ninjas in cages and started to slowly talk them through what we were going to do. You know, we were smooth talking them, and we managed to get them all to join us after several hours of sweet conversation. And boom, just like that, we have 4 more recruits. Easy peasy, doesn't get any more easier than that. And these guys have excellent stealth stats and assassination stats. But the strength stat wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be. So I put them on that strength grind, baby. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get them all thick and muscular. And then we proceeded to murder the residents of Bast, because it turns out they were the ones that murdered Beep and the other guy. I think his name was Horse or some shit, but they murdered him. So in a revenge killing, we murdered them. I then took some of the boys to go and sell some of our stuff, because we didn't need it anymore. We're just going to focus on recruiting, and this whole armour thing probably wouldn't be that efficient as it goes. We then headed back to the Spine Canyon, where the Flotsam Ninja Tower is located. The boys looking real cool, real speedy, super quick, and they look super thick. Anyway, let's go steal some babies. I mean, not babies, ninjas. This time, we cared much less about the amount of Sand Ninjas, because there's more of us. Because we're going to take these guys out, and we're going to take them home, and they're going to join us. And then we're going to take over the world. Okay, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but you understand where I'm coming from, you understand what I'm aiming for, and you're here for it. I'm here for it too. Let's do this. I just punched my hand, it kind of hurt. Let's go. Yet again, we had secured more recruits from the Flotsam Ninja Tower. Unfortunately, this actually had depleted all of the recruits that we could get from this specific Flotsam Ninja Tower. I'm going to say this Flotsam Ninja Tower. There's only one Flotsam Ninja Tower, so yeah, we're going to have to start getting all the ninjas. We're going to try and exclusively get ninjas, because they start with good ass stats. We got back to Bast pretty quickly, and then we started to recruit the Sand Ninjas. And after several painstaking hours of more sweet conversation,
join my martial artist army.
like we had enough recruits to put down some roots. A home base that we can use to train our new army and equip them with better gear. And at the same time, we can send out parties of soldiers to kidnap new converts. We then started to make our way to World's End. I then realised that World's End was a waste of time and we're looking for a fight. Seemed like a good idea to get some training in. We fought them to the death because we murdered every single last one of those. Not just the men, but the women and the children too. But starving vagrants, essentially just homeless people that were hungry.
I killed them all.
So here's my strategy. We have guys who then kidnap guys, who then convert them, and then the new guys kidnap other guys, and then convert them, and then soon enough, boom, got yourself an army. There's the plan. I've structured it all out for you. It may look like a pyramid scheme, but I promise you, it's not. I know that's what they all say, but it's not. Alright, you gotta get in first though, otherwise you fucked. Having a home for my boys felt like the best course of action. So I ran on up to Heft and purchased myself a nice little slot of land. Actually, I purchased a building, not even just land. A building with walls, a roof, and also a door. It has a door, come on. I then needed to furnish my building with some furniture and other utility items. So we put a research bench in the building. Came to another conclusion that we couldn't just have martial artists, because if you look at the army, okay, they've got scientists, they've got cooks, they've got engineers, they've got doctors. And you know why? It's because you need that backbone, that skeleton, so you can actually run an army. Another thing that's been on my mind is how we're going to feed all these boys. And for the time being, we're going to struggle to. Look, all I'm saying is I gave them names, not numbers. I'm not heartless. Okay, I'm not going to let them starve. I may have let 2 of them get killed. 3 out of like more than 3. So I'd say that's a pretty good success rate. The next few days were spent setting the boys to work. We had them on the mines to create income for ourselves, but also to build the strength. I then thought it'd be a very good idea to get some training dummies in. Then we can train the boys martial arts as well as the strength. I'm smart, see? I then sent the person that used to be the leader of the Sand Ninjas to go and do a stealing mission for me, because we need that cash money. This is one of the things I was talking about. We're going to run out of money, and therefore we're going to not have any food, and then the boys might starve. Therefore, need to steal things. Therefore, it's justified. Therefore, it's fine. How many times did I say therefore? There's one more time. Therefore, come on. Anyway, this is this is a shit video. Delete it all. We then sent Fur to the Black Desert City to sell all the stolen stuff. On the way, she didn't have any shoes on, so she almost lost her toes and the rest of her legs. Then went into the bar, sold some of the stuff, and then got some rest. Back at home, we were getting a research bench level 2, and the rest of the boys were mining. We then started researching a bunch of stuff because we need a bunch of stuff. We're aiming for prisoner cages, remember? Unfortunately, Infinite Wingwang passed out from starvation, and then somebody came along and enslaved him, unfortunately. So we had to go and steal him back, which didn't take too long at all. In fact, he was back that night. He was the first one on the new training dummies that we had just installed. It was then time to put some prisoner cages in so we could start converting new recruits. With some more sweet conversation, we then put even more prisoner cages in so we could recruit even more men. We then started training all the boys on the new training dummies. Got some books because we need to do some research. I also started creating some armour for the boys because obviously at the moment most of them are shirtless, and we do need some sort of armour even though we are using our fists. I sent some of our best boys on a little mission to get more men. It was also kind of a stealing mission because I wanted to make some more money. And stealing stuff with these ninjas is just completely the easiest thing I've ever done. We then headed to the small outpost in the Grey Desert because our main aim was to get the Cloud Ninjas that are there. We're trying to kidnap more boys. And luckily, they actually ended up attacking the outpost we were resting at. Ideal. Barely had to fight anyone. Just got put down and we got more ninjas. We then headed back home and put the ninjas in the cages. To convert them, we have to wait about, a few hours in between recruiting. So in the meantime, I added some more furniture in, some more production buildings. I then sent out the first group of hunters with the intention of training their martial arts. We found a small camp and decided against attacking them because that would really make us the bad guys. And is that what we're going for? Maybe. Quite possibly. I'm not entirely sure yet, I guess we'll see. So I went deeper into the desert looking for more groups of bandits. A group of starving vagrants would be great right now. And boom, wouldn't you know it, we came across a camp. These guys are looking beatable. And the amount of hunters in the group, we managed to overwhelm them, surround them. And some of the martial arts is getting really entertaining to watch because it's just cool. They can do some cool stuff, they can kick arms off. Why the fuck are these guys called the Goblin Cultists? I've never come across these guys ever in my whole time of playing Kenshi. Once we'd finished recruiting the last of that group of Cloud Ninjas, it was time to go on another hunting mission for more recruits. But first, we needed to equip the guys with some of the new gear we had acquired. We stole most of the dust coats that the Goblin Cultists had. Another thing we needed to get sorted was a lack of places to sleep. 3 beds and a bunch of sleeping bags in the Thieves' Tower that we could use, but it wasn't ideal. So I thought we should get some beds of our own. And the thing I realised about this strategy is that sometimes these miners are going to go down. Also, the names get pretty generic. You know, this guy's a Cloud Ninja, so I called them Cloud. Yeah, what can I say? But really, what do I need to say when the boys are just going out, literally running in to people and then proceeding to free them of their consciousness, shall we say. We then comatized a few more Goblin Cultists. And now it was time to head to the Grey Desert to yet again get some more recruits. On our way to the Grey Desert, we ran into a group of manhunters and they took one look at us and thought we were slaves, so they tried to attack us. Before I could do anything, our boys started attacking and we brutally murdered all of the manhunters. And then as soon as we entered the Grey Desert, we ran straight into a group of ninjas. We then proceeded to put them in comas, intention of obviously taking them back and recruiting them to our cause. And these little prayer recruitment conversion missions are getting easier and easier. We then made our move back to Heft. Once we arrived, we put them in prisoner cages and started the conversion process, which, as we all know, is just sweet conversation. I then started the production of our shinobi gis, which will be our military uniform. You may be thinking, why do you need a uniform? And that's because nothing terrifies enemies more than organised fashion. We then headed back out on another conversion/recruitment mission. And of course, we made a little stop off for a little bit of stealing. And oh boy, the haul was good. Got a load of these pearl things, these CPU units, and just so you're aware, because I don't think I've said it before, we're rotating the recruits on the mines and then on the dummies, so they have strength and martial arts. Some ninjas came and started trying to chase me. Don't know why they thought that was a good idea, we literally outnumber them. But anyway, it's good news for me. We brutally murdered them, we brutally comatized them. No, we gently comatized them with the intention of taking them back and then converting them to our dank-ass religion. It was at this point that I surpassed the number of 30 brave souls. So I felt good about myself and my position, so I thought, why not go out and test my strength? We found a small camp of blood raiders. We murdered so many blood raiders, it's kind of insane. We patrolled the Spine Canyon for about 24 hours, and basically murdered every single blood raider we saw. But actually, really what we're doing is we're converting them into experience points. So many experience points. Empathy? What? Tell me this shit ain't cool. Tell me it's not cool. Tell me right now. You'll be a liar. I'll show you a liar. Clearing out the blood raiders was just a warm-up. Right now we're heading to the Flotsam Ninja hideout because they are probably going to have 60 martial arts from the offbeat. So we gotta kidnap them, whether it's going to go well or not. And while we were away, some of our boys did get enslaved, okay, but only for the time being. We don't have our fighting force, we can't free them. The fighting force is away, so for now, you're just slaves, boys, I'm sorry. Once we arrived in the Flotsam Ninja territory, we ran into a group of scrawny cannibals, so it was quite an easy fight, but even so, they were trying to nibble at our toes and shit, man, that's scary. I then found some Flotsam Ninjas, and instead of attacking, I decided to approach it a little bit differently. I decided to avoid combat. These guys might actually mess a few of our guys up, so I just went in with our best assassin and assassinated them. And if you want to see us recruit these prisoners and build a base, tune in for the next video. I appreciate you being here till the end. I know it's a long one, but you know, for sure, come back again. It's going to be fun. We're going to have fun, me and you. It's going to be good. I feel it. You stay to the end. That's good. Appreciate it.